This video is a breakdown of Steve Gadd's notorious 30-second note groove. So if you know Steve Gadd, you've probably heard this groove already, and if you're a drummer who knows Steve Gadd, you probably already know how to play it. But I just want to do a pretty thorough breakdown and give you some exercises that'll help you get better at it. Basically the secret sauce is inverted double strokes. That's all there is. Good night. No, that's all you really need to know, but I'll go in a little bit deeper. Let me play the groove for you at a kind of medium tempo first, so if you can tell what I mean by inverted double strokes. Alright, so in the snare drum part there, the left-hand part, you would have heard those little double stroke ghost notes going along the whole time there. So that's a constant of this beat. Your left hand doesn't really move, it just plays those double stroke ghost notes the whole time. The other half of your inverted double strokes is split between your right hand and the hi-hat and snare drum for the backbeat and your kick drum. So it's kind of split between them. So what I'm going to do though is take you through a few exercises that kind of build the beat up from bare bones inverted double strokes. So we're actually going to start with inverted double strokes with the hands only, just split between the hi-hat and snare. Alright, now we're going to take the hi-hat inverted doubles that land on beat 1 and the inverted doubles that land on beat 3 and replace them with bass drum strokes. Alright, so you kind of have to count out your 30-second notes to make sure you're only landing on beats 1 and 3. Alright, that happens every 16 notes in this case, right? So in 4/4 there's 8 30-second notes in each beat, so every 2 beats we've got 16 notes that we're having to count out. But the way I count out 30-second notes is the 1E and the money, and the 2E and the money, and the 3E and the money, and the 4E and the money, and the... Alright, so don't ask me why, but I've never forgotten that count. So the double strokes, again, that's normally played on the hi-hat, the ones that lead into the 1 and the 3, we're going to replace with bass drum strokes. So I'll count you in 1 bar, and then I'll play. 1E and the money, and the 2E and the money, and the 3E and the money, and the 4E and the money, and the... Alright, so that's the first exercise you can practice, just to get used to breaking the inverted double strokes from the hands, introducing the foot pattern. Now what we're going to do is go back to the hand pattern, so we're going to keep those inverted doubles leading into the 1 and 3 back on the hi-hat, as in the first exercise, and we're going to talk about the 2 and 4, the backbeat. Okay, so obviously your left hand stays on the snare the whole time in this beat. It's your right hand that goes from the hi-hat over to the snare to play your accent for the backbeat. And so what we're going to do is, and we've also got a kick drum note leading into the backbeat. So on the 30-second note before the backbeat, it's another kick drum stroke. So that's what we're going to introduce now. We're going to take away the hi-hat notes, double strokes that lead into beats 2 and 4, and replace that with your bass drum stroke and your backbeat. So here we go, 1 bar count. 1E and the money, and the 2E and the money, and the 3E and the money, and the 4E and the money, and the... Alright, so now if you can play that comfortably, plus the exercise before, the kicks leading into beats 1 and 3, then you've got all the elements of this beat down. So it's just a matter of merging all the beats together, and we've got the full Steve Gadd 30-second note beat. Alright, I want to show you one more thing, and that's just a little grouping of 6 30-second notes split between bass drum, hi-hat and snare drum in inverted double strokes, so the same sticking but split in groups of 3 double strokes, so 2 on the kick drum, 2 on the hi-hat, 2 on the snare drum. Alright, and that sounds like this. Right, the next pattern is the same thing except we're reversing the hi-hat and snare. So instead of kick, hi-hat, snare, we're going kick, snare, hi-hat, playing that same group of 3 inverted doubles. Alright, now I'll just show you how you can inject those little 6-note patterns into the 30-second note beat. So towards the end of the bar, I'll kind of start playing with that 6-note phrase, and we'll cut it short to resolve on the 1. Alright, thanks for watching the lesson. You can get the free PDF worksheet for this lesson at my website, sachakdrums.com. And I've made this one free, A, because it's really Steve Gadd's beat, you know, it's his material. And B, I'm just a sweetheart like that. And C, it's because then maybe you'll see my other lessons and pay for something, you cheap bastard. So enjoy. See you in the next lesson.